Trump calls out ABC News on ignoring March for Life while covering March for Death. The Women's March, the March for Death, gets more coverage from the Progressive Party press than the March for Life. Color me surprised. President Donald Trump's ABC interview Wednesday night, January 25th, contained this little gem in the form of a back and forth between President Trump and ABC News' David Muir. In that exchange, Muir wanted to talk about the anti-Trump, anti-American, anti-life, pro-murder, so-called Women's March, sponsored by George Soros and other big money bagmen of the progressive hate machine. Well, President Trump, as he so often does, would have none of it. Rather than let this Progressive Party press hack define the terms of the battle, President Trump set the terms. Muir said, "Let me just ask you, while we're standing outside, could you hear the voices from the Women's March here in Washington?" Trump responded, "No, I couldn't hear them. The crowds were large, but you will have large crowds on Friday, too, which is mostly pro-life people." He continued, "You're going to have a lot of people coming on Friday, and I will say this, and I didn't realize this, but I was told you will have a very large crowd of people. I don't know as large or larger. Some people said it will be larger. Pro-life people, and they say the press doesn't cover them." At this point, Muir suddenly realized what he should have known by now. President Trump doesn't color within the lines you Progressive Party press hacks like to set down. All Muir could offer was, I don't want to compare crowd sizes again. Muir was trying to evade the facts that the Progressive Party press will cover their progressive hate machine marches that are anti-life, anti-American, anti-Trump, and not cover a march that stands for the life and the rights of the unborn. Trump didn't let him off, however. He continued, No, you shouldn't. But let me just tell you. What you do say is that the press doesn't cover them. Lastly, in asking Muir's question of whether he heard that progressive hate march or not, Trump finally added, "I do, but I have to also say, we just had an election a few weeks ago, and they voted in many cases, and in some cases they didn't vote, I imagine, and we did have an election. With that being said, absolutely I have the responsibility to everybody, including people that didn't vote for Donald Trump. Totally." The Media Research Center added to Trump's claim of media bias against the March for Life that in November 2016, CBS and NBC dedicated 3 times more coverage of one neo-Nazi rally in 2016 than they did the last 4 years of the March for Life. So far for this year's march, the networks have spent 120 more times talking about the Women's March, as was discovered by the MRC's Katie Yoder. Folks, calling out the progressive hate machine's Progressive Party press on their hypocrisy and obvious bias is just one of the joys of having Donald Trump and not Hillary, I have a private server and I'm not afraid to erase it, Clinton.